What is going on, guys? TJ, the big sports guy, here with a special episode today about the hobby that we all know and love and how things have evolved and escalated over the last few years. Today is the beginning of the National Week. However, this video is not going to come out until post-National, so hopefully you enjoyed all of the content around that. But I do want to take some time to talk about one thing that has become very clear to me over the last couple of days, watching some of the content on YouTube leading up to the National Sports Card Convention, and that is the amount of greed that is taking place in this hobby. So guys, buckle up. Let's take a look at some greedy people and greedy things that are happening in the sports card hobby. One of the things that really got my mind going around this topic of greed in the sports card hobby was a conversation that I had with a close buddy of mine today, actually, about this hobby. Now, this person is someone who has been in the sports card hobby for years and years, and is someone that I would consider a true collector, not really concerned about resale value of cards, but is just looking for cool things to collect, which I believe is what the hobby is all about. And combined with getting on YouTube today and checking out some content leading up to the National, it just reminded me how much people have begun to care about the resale value of their cards. Every single raw card that they seem to pick up needs to be a PSA or BGS 10, or at least have the potential for that. Everyone wants to know that they can buy a card for $50 or $100 and make $150 or $200 on said card. And I think it's getting to a point that's a little bit ridiculous. However, I think, and I'm hoping, that we are starting to see all of that cool down and dissipate from the hobby. Prices have obviously been sliding for quite a while now, well over a year, going on a year and a half to 2 years. So I'm hoping that we are almost back to the point where people like myself, who are always looking to pick up cheap but valuable from a sentimental aspect, Detroit Red Wings, University of Michigan, and other key cards from my personal collection, can get back to that point where we do not have to shell out $400, $500, $600 for a key card for our collections. Obviously, everyone has different motives out there. If you are an investor type or a flipper, this video may not be for you. You may not like it. Some of the content that I viewed today from the sports card investor, he's getting geared up and ready to go drop thousands of dollars at the National, basically showboating and gloating all of these big deals that are going to be done. There are other people out there too who like flexing on Instagram or YouTube, making you think that they've got tens of thousands of dollars that they can just blow away on sports cards and it means nothing to them. However, I feel like some of these people might be just putting on a front. I got really sick and tired of these people over the last couple of years showboating their Zion Williamson Silver Prism rookie PSA 10s, but guess what? I think things are starting to turn around, and hopefully you're not one of the ones out there holding the bag. You know the guys that I'm talking about, the guys that go around the shows and they've got stacks of cash in their little satchel type carrying case for their money, and they're pulling out all their Zion slab cases, man, with all their Ja Morants and everything. It was a little bit too much for all of us to handle, and let's be real, we're getting back to a point where we can all collect again, we can have fun, we can look for the guys that we watched growing up. Whether or not they turned out to be big stars worth millions of dollars or not, it is just fun nonetheless. We can get kids engaged in the hobby, we can have trade nights, pack wars, all kinds of fun stuff, and that is what this hobby should be all about. But it has gotten far away from that. In other news, in an amazing turn of events, I actually just received breaking news, a notification on my phone to watch a YouTube from another hobby hero spending big money on Shohei Ohtani autos, rookie autos. Well, enjoy buying at the peak, because those prices could not be higher. As you may or may not have seen so far, I did another video explaining why Shohei Ohtani valued sports cards right now are at an all-time high and should not be bought. You should stay as far away from those things as possible right now. You should wait for these things to cool down. There is no way that they are worth the money that some people are buying, but hey, it's not my money. And I know I've said it once, but I will say it again. The biggest case of greed in the hobby has come from the companies like Panini and Topps and Upper Deck, who have squeezed every last bit of profit out of these companies that they can before they get turned over to fanatics. Thank you 2020 and all the people that got back into the hobby. Thank you social media and Facebook sports card groups for amping everything up so that we could wring everyone dry and then keep our prices high, thinking you're going to get huge resale for those individual cards that you pull, which will not happen. I was in a card shop today, as a matter of fact, looking at boxes of Topps Tribute baseball cards. They were $530 a box with 2 autographs, meaning I need 2 autographs worth $265 or more just to get my money back, and I know there's no way that's going to happen. So all of these greedy companies who are just printing money and printing cards and creating a new junk wax era. Come on, guys. What are you doing? You know who else has gotten really greedy in this hobby? The sports card dealers at the shows. Certain ones, not all of them. The ones that are stuck in their ways, that have their cards priced well above comps because they were the only ones dumb enough to keep buying and buying and buying when prices were skyrocketing and they were going to the moon. And now it's our fault because they got stuck holding the bag and they don't want to make sacrifices and pass along deals to other collectors who truly care about the cards, but they want to make a profit. Well, guess what? 2023, you're going to take a loss. You're not going to make money doing this. You got to sell out of some of that stuff that you don't want. So move it cheap and move along, flip through some inventory and find something new. I remember a time back in 2021 and probably early 2022, but mainly 2021, where you would go to Target at 8 o'clock in the morning to get whatever groceries or lunch you needed for the day, and there would be a line outside. A line outside of Target at 8 a.m. Come on. The scalpers and the flippers, those people got way too greedy in the hobby. They couldn't just buy the product and rip it themselves. They couldn't let kids get a single box of Retail Select football. They didn't want anyone to have any chance of getting a box for $49.99 that was worth $69.99 other than themselves. They just wanted to buy it all up. And then Target and Walmart and Meijer and all these other stores had to put limits on trading cards. The madness, people. The greed is running rampant in the hobby. Is it done? Have we seen the last of it? I sure hope so. One more group of people that we cannot forget in this hobby. The greediest, maybe second greediest behind only the card manufacturers themselves. The breakers, the guys who scream in the microphones and shout and yell and act like silly little girls when they pull cards that are gold, that are numbered to 10. Those guys that get you to sign up for breaks 6-7 days a week and don't care because they've bought up all the sealed products as far as the eye can see. They just want to sell you those teams, whether it's the Giants to the Jets to the Patriots. They don't care. They just want your money. They just want to open a new gigantic facility and employ multiple people to rip sports cards all day because getting a real job is just too hard. They want to take your money and run, and they're just going to buy more sports cards with it. And then after you pay, they might not even send you the cards, and if they do send you the cards, they're damaged because they don't care what they shipped them like. You paid for the break. They sent you the product. Who cares? Move on. That's what they want. All right, guys, but in all seriousness, thank you for stopping by. Please let me know what you thought of this video. Drop a comment below, like it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And remember, guys, this is a fun hobby with a bunch of collectors buying, selling, and trading with each other to collect the cards of their favorite players, and that is what is most important. Give deals to other collectors. Try to buy cheap deals for others if you find them. And I will catch you next time.